So if you talk to me and I don't ask you how your kids or your significant others are, that's a sign. That's a sign.
All right, it's just the boys today.
Wait a second. Hold on. How did that happen?
You guys want to talk about
sports and stuff?
Sports and
boobs.
Strip clubs and cigars.
Hey, where are you at on the Zoom? We don't see you.
I just realized I'm not in here. Hang on. Oh, Gandhi, you're about to spoil our fun.
Oh, no. Damn it, Gandhi.
You have to talk about only men-related topics today, or quote-unquote guy topics.
Are you guys talking about your balls?
About to. Thank you for joining.
That wasn't on the list, but we
can.
can.
15-minute morning show.
Yes.
Oh.
You know what's funny? We said a bunch of things. No one said balls. You're the first one to say balls.
What do guys talk about when girls aren't around?
We don't really.
I think it's quiet. I don't know about you. It's like more like just a very simple conversation. Like,
Heather's always like, well, why don't you talk to your guys about what's going on? I'm like, guys don't talk about relationships and feelings.
No.
Okay, that's the weirdest thing in the world to me. That's why you guys are all so angry and weird all the time.
I guarantee that's why.
You gotta let your feelings out.
Like if I just called Frog in, I'm like, hey man, I just want to talk about love and how come I haven't really found it in life. Froggy's gonna be like, dude, are you okay?
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
Like, did you take something?
Girls don't sit around and talk about love and why we haven't found it in our lives. That's weird.
I know plenty of good gals that do.
But do you guys talk about about guys' penises and stuff? Do you guys talk about that?
Scotty?
I mean, sometimes, sure, if like one of my friends just hooked up with someone and she feels like being a little scandalous and telling me all about it, of course I want to hear that. But guys don't talk to each other about their feelings or like anything going on in their lives.
No.
It's so weird.
Gandhi, if a friend of yours said they were going on vacation, what would your first question be?
Where are you going?
Yeah, you know what my first question would be?
What?
That's cool. Like, I might ask them how much they paid for it, but like my wife will go, where are they going? What are they doing? How are they getting there? I go, I don't know. Like, we don't care.
You don't follow up?
We don't care. I don't care. Like, if Froggy goes, yeah, I'm going away this weekend with Lisa, I'll be like, oh, cool.
No, I always follow up with something.
Yeah.
Do you?
Like, it just seems like you're disinterested and don't care about what's happening in your friends' lives.
Yeah.
Froggy, do you care if I care where you're going?
No, but I would if you called me up and said, hey, I'm going away this weekend.
I can't hear Froggy.
How's that possible?
Why not? I don't know.
Well, it's
there he
possible.
is.
Hello?
There we go.
Yeah, Froggy, so do you care if I care where you're going?
No, I don't care if you care, but if you told me, hey, me and Melissa and the kids are going away, I would say, oh, where are you going? Like, I would ask where you're going.
Common courtesy, but do you really care? Like,
yeah, I do care. In case it's a place I've been.
He pretend to care.
Yeah, in case it's a place I've been.
Show some interest.
No, I will say
that
this.
you're interested in.
If I don't like you, like if you're somebody I don't like, for example, anyways, Lisa will say, I'll be like, oh, hey, I saw so-and-so or talked to so-and-so. Oh, did you ask how the wife and kids were? I'm like, no. Why? Because I don't care. I don't like
that settles it, bro. He doesn't like it.
So if I don't like you, then I won't ask.
true.
But if I like you, then I'll take interest and I'll say, hey, how is like, for example, anytime I talk to Nate, I'm always like, hey, how's Heather? If I talk to Gandhi, even though she doesn't live with Brandon, I always ask. Even Danielle, I'm always like, how's Sheldon? How's the kids?
Yeah.
When I talk to Scotty, like I'm always that way. Even
Of course.
Even with Scary doesn't live with Robin, but I always ask because I care. So if you talk to me and I don't ask you how your kids or your significant others are, that's a
That's a sign. That's a sign.
Yeah, like one of Brandon's very best friends in the whole world is going through a very crazy thing, and I ask him every day, how's blah 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 doing? He's like, I don't know. I haven't really circled back. I'm like, what? How do you not want the details on what is going on? I don't care. If he wants to tell me, he'll tell me. I'm like, oh, you guys are the worst.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. It's some of that stuff that it's important to you. It's just like for guys, or at least for me, I'm kind of like, I mean, it's okay, great.
You guys are so interested and nosy about things that are going on.
Well, you come back from vacation, a guy will ask a guy, did you get laid? That'll be a question that we'd ask. That's if
I ask my girlfriends the same
maybe
thing
20
now.
years ago.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, but
20 years ago.
Yeah, you would ask that to somebody who's dating someone. You're not going to ask your married friend, hey, did you get laid?
Well,
I will. There's a chance you probably
But
didn't, but maybe you
Probably
did.
didn't, Froggy.
But also, you just don't. I mean, you don't ask your married friends if they're doing it. I mean, it's just disrespectful.
Danielle, how many? I'll ask you and Sheldon. You guys gonna bang it out tonight? You always go.
Well,
like,
you're okay, but you're different.
Okay, exactly. When it's Danielle or Sheldon's birthday, like Sheldon's birthday, I'll call Sheldon and say happy birthday, and we'll talk for a little bit, and then we're done. I'm like, all right, Danielle, you guys go. You guys got to go bang it out for Sheldon's birthday. She's like, would you stop? I'm like,
I also feel that if you had a lot of fun on your vacation or something that you did that was outrageous, you would tell me before I had to ask, right? So like meaning like you came back from Greece.
Yeah.
Like I just assume you did the typical Grecian things,
Went
right?
to
On
the
your vacation.
Acropolis.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
if something like stood out, like you got engaged,
Yeah.
you would tell me, oh, by the way, I got engaged. Or
No, he wouldn't. Nate would not say it.
Oh, we escaped the shot.
Yeah, I might not say it.
No,
We would find out when Nate got married. We'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
Nate got
Right.
engaged.
Like, you guys know I'm getting married, right?
I know.
No?
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah. But Scary, if I came back from Greece, I wouldn't tell you anything because you didn't ask me, so I know you don't care.
I
Like,
might
you don't
say,
wanna
hey,
know what-
how was your vacation? I mean, give the one word, you know.
Right, but you don't want me to
question.
tell you. You just want me to go, good. Like, you don't want me to tell you about the vacation.
Here's a bigger
Y'all are
question for everybody. Like, do you find it's harder to try and keep up with as many people as you do?
Yes.
Yes.
I had, well, Gandhi, maybe you're the anomaly here, but I know for me, I used to have so many people I kept up with on a regular basis. Now I've whittled it down to like a core dozen that I keep informed with what's going on in my
dozen?
life. It's just so hard to stay.
Anything
Oh,
more
yeah.
than two, my mind blows up.
Yeah.
I'm the person who, if I think about a random person who I haven't talked to in years, I'll just send them a message like, hey, just thought about you. What you doing? Because I want to know. Like, I'm very curious. I like to be maybe invasive sometimes. What's been going on with you? How
All
you
right,
doing?
let me
How's
ask
your
you a
health?
question. If somebody asks you how you're doing, and you text back how you're doing, and they don't respond to that, is that right? Is that weird?
It's never happened to me. I have no idea.
Well, okay. So I was a little under the weather a couple of weeks ago. Just a little rundown, and someone on the show texted me a couple of times, "Hey, how you feeling?" And I wrote back how I was feeling, and then they never responded. So
Well, because
they
they got
don't
their
wanna know.
answer.
Wait, who are you talking
Oh,
about?
you're
Me?
talking. You have to be talking about Scary. I know you're talking about Scary.
no, I'm not talking about.
Is it
Scary.
me? Oh, you're
not?
Scary doesn't even ask. So Gandhi was very good. She checked in on me, and she's like, "Health check." So I wrote back, "Oh, I'm feeling this way, and then she didn't write back. So I was like,
No, but I
was-
circled back with you a few times because here's what I know about you. You don't like to be overly conversational about really anything. So once you give me your answer, I think that you don't want me to then follow up, especially if you're not feeling well. You don't want me to keep coming back and being like, oh, well, what about this? I mean, what am I supposed to say? I wrote back, oh, that sucks. I hope you feel better. Like, but I checked in on you multiple times.
"No, you did. I just when I wrote back, I'm like, because I felt like maybe I told you too much.
No, not at all.
felt
I was just like,
yeah,
oh.
I was like, oh, I got an upset stomach and a headache and a sore throat, and I can get hit
But
back.
if
I'm like,
somebody
ooh,
asks you,
maybe I said too much.
if
No, that's not true.
But if somebody
Okay.
asks you how you doing, and you're under the weather, and you respond back with a nice comprehensive paragraph,
Right.
is there a need for that
Yes.
person to write back? They kind of
Yes.
read it and got the answer, so
Yes.
they've
Yeah,
moved
I
on.
Yes. Even if you write, hope you feel better. At
But
Yeah,
I
like
did.
Danielle
I wrote
wrote
back
back-
like, oh no, I hope the worst of it's over and I hope
Right.
you're getting better
See,
and
that's
blah
good.
blah.
Look, if you really want to throw someone for a loop, like
A Fruit Loop?
a Fruit Loop, yeah. Like if you're at a store and the cashier says, "How you doing today?" Just say, "Not good." It's like the worst day ever. They don't know how to respond.
Yeah.
because
Yeah, that's right.
Nobody
Like,
ever says anything but good, no matter what. So if you're
Right.
having a bad day, tell them, and they won't know how to respond.
Yeah, my parents said that was one of the weirdest things about being in America
Yep.
is that they thought when people asked you how are you doing that they actually wanted to know like what was going on with your life.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just a little aside in a conversation where you're
Right.
always supposed to be like, great, great.
Exactly.
Lies.
Heather's got a friend from Denmark, and she said that was the biggest adjustment when you got here because it's just a natural high. It's our
Yeah.
version of highs. How you doing? They're like, well, I'm doing great. How are you? We don't really care how you're
Right.
doing. We
Oh,
just
so they in their
their
country
world,
when you ask that, it's
it's
like you have to go
serious.
into
It is
Right.
a full-on, full-blown
Well,
conversation.
Wait a
from
minute.
that
I
point
was
on.
in
So-
Target and I asked the lady behind the register, "So how's your day going?" And she stopped and told me about the worst customer she's ever had in the day and how crappy her day
That's
was.
cool.
I know, and I was like, "Wow, this is so
Danielle,
weird."
I make small talk with my Uber drivers all the time
Yeah.
just to get those 5 stars. And I asked them like pointed
Wait,
questions.
You don't do it to enjoy the conversation. I do it to get the 5 stars.
Yeah, you just said
Why
I don't
would you
care
say
about what
that?
you're
I
saying.
said
Why
small
would you
talk.
even
I said
say
small
that?
talk. And you know
Oh
what?
my
They
God.
talk right back because they're in their car bored all fucking day. They're like, oh my God, finally, someone who wants to talk to me and pass the
I know,
time.
but everybody's talking about
But you
being
don't
nice,
wanna
and you're
talk
like,
to
oh,
them.
I'm just doing it to
It
get
is
5
being
stars.
nice. I'm doing a service
Yeah.
by talking to them and
No,
passing
no,
the
no,
time.
no, no.
No,
Now
no,
doing
no,
a
silence.
service.
Yeah, and now you're doing them a disservice. 'Cause
Yeah.
Now they know it's just bullshit when
Right.
you're talking
And-
to them.
Scary.
And you
sound
know
like,
Scary's first
"Oh,
question is
I
always,
did them a
"So,
favor.
where
I
you
had
from?"
I had a conversation with them. I did them a favor. You should give me a discount.
No, my question is always, my opening line is always, So how's Uber today? How's everything? You guys busy? You busy right now? You at the end of your shift? Beginning?
And
Where
his
did you
response
start?
is, I got some asshole in my car now asking me stupid questions.
No, and then I have more. I have a whole shtick with Uber drivers. Don't you guys?
A whole shtick.
Oh, wait.
He's got a shtick.
Hang
go
on,
through it.
hang on. Wait. Let's role play. I'm the Uber driver. You get in,
Yep.
door closes, clunk. All right.
You don't do this?
All right, I'm driving.
Yeah. Hey, so how's Uber today? What you guys busy today or what?
It's fine. I'm driving you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, is you finishing up today right now or what's going on?
I just started. I got to make some money.
Where do you live?
You're really fucking annoying. You know that?
No, but here's the best. You get great stories out of them. It's almost like taxi cab confessions because what they'll do is I'll say, well, what's the furthest you've ever traveled? I always do that one.
Oh,
and
yeah,
they
yeah.
always say, oh, I went from Boston to Philly and this
Okay,
one time. And then
all
they come up
right.
with a
Yes.
crazy story.
I'll tell you, I did ask an Uber driver that one time, what's the furthest you've ever driven somebody? He said he picked him up in Miami. He had to drive him to Detroit and back.
What?
See?
Yes.
Oh
This
my
is
God.
Drove a guy
way.
from
Dude,
Miami to Detroit and back.
I also
Did
did.
that include overnight?
Yes.
Or was it a straight drive?
No, overnight. They stayed overnight as well. And the guy paid for everything.
What do you talk about?
Dude.
My God.
Yeah, Scary be out of questions
Wow.
by the
Well, no,
time he
but
got
You
to
sit in the
Pennsylvania.
back seat for that long of a
Just
drive,
be
do you think?
quiet. See, I think they prefer silence.
No,
I
they
know
don't.
a lot
Yeah.
of them want to be on the phone.
Yep.
They want to listen to the radio. They don't want to hear your dumbass questions because here's the thing. In a day, they pick up 30 of you, if not more, and they're all asking these same generic questions.
They don't
and these
ask.
guys,
No, they don't ask this one.
Oh, don't they?
Late night. I'm like, so has anyone ever thrown up in here? You get a
Oh,
lot
you
of
think
drunk
that's
people in your car.
unique?
Really, Scary?
Police!
And
That's not a
and
unique
then
You
they
know
give me
what?
their best drunk story about how someone like fell on the thing and they had to like vomit out the side of the window. It's great.
You ever
At
ask
some
them if
point,
anybody
Scary,
had
you're gonna
sex in
get-
their
you're gonna
car?
get the same.
What?
Hold on. Okay,
You ever ask them if
Sex?
anybody had sex in their car?
Oh yeah, all the time. Well, they'll tell
that's
me.
question
I don't have
6.
to ask. They tell me.
Yeah, hey,
You
Scary,
know-
one of these days you're going to get the same driver, and he's going to go, all right, so you're going to ask me how far I've driven like you did the
Right.
last time? Like he's going to know question 3 is coming.
These poor Uber drivers. You know what I found out the other day from my driver? So you know how there's surge charging at obviously
Yes.
Yeah.
surge pricing
Yeah.
or whatever?
All the time.
They no longer get that money. They get the exact same that they always got, and the company now pockets that
That's
surge price.
bullshit.
No, that's
bullshit.
BS.
They said it started about 7-8 months ago. They used to get a bigger proportion of the cut because the
Yeah.
company was making more. Then the companies both stepped in and said, nope,
It seems
not
like
anymore.
every 6 months they get a cut because I
Yeah.
remember when Uber first started, it was everybody's like, "Dude, I'm doing this on weekends. I'm making a shit ton of money."
Yep.
Now people can barely get by even making that a second
That's
job.
They only get
Yep.
paid by distance. That's
We just
it.
gave Scary another question to ask his driver.
Oh yeah, no, they
To find
complain
out
to me
about their pay.
about the corporate Uber corporate all the time.
And Scary, have they ever said to you, like due to COVID, you can't talk to me when they see you coming?
No, they say that you can't sit in the front seat due to COVID. But
Scary is like
Why,
Uber
do
therapy.
you ask to sit next to them?
yeah, sometimes I've gone up front because if there's 3 or 4
Yeah,
of us.
I didn't realize that. We've done that a few times, like when we were going places, and we make Scary sit up front because we
Yep.
always pick him up last.
Always.
I
He
know,
loves
and they
the
were
front.
always like, "Oh, sure." And then I saw the little thing that said, "Nobody can sit in the front seat." I felt bad.
Yeah.
Whenever we go in groups, Scary always tells the driver, can I sit up front?
Oh my gosh. And
'Cause
Scary.
he wants to give like directions.
Exactly.
Yes.
The Uber driver he knows where he's going, and he has it on his GPS.
Yeah.
Scary is always like, no, don't go that way.
Here's another
Do
one. No,
this.
Danielle.
Go here.
It's
Do
funny
that.
you say that.
You Uber
because
snob.
Sometimes they use the native Uber map or they'll use Google Maps.
Yeah, he tells them to use
Do you have
Waze.
Waze? You have
Yeah,
Waze?
he
Yeah,
does
he
it every
changes
time.
them all the time.
And they're
Oh my
like,
God.
"Oh, no, no,
criticizes
but
their
how do you do it?"
navigation
They're like-
system.
They're like, oh, you want me to use Waze? Oh, I got Waze. And then they use Waze. It's integrated into their system. They should be using Waze.
4 stars.
Are we done?
Taking a star off.
I don't know.
We're done.
I always get
5-star
5 stars.
podcast. 5-star podcast. Bye,
I'm
everybody.
a 4.90 bitches.